Hi guys, welcome to our chaos. By the way, who gave us this mic? Like, what are we doing here?
Honestly, it's just a series of bad decisions.
I know exactly. We're just two introverts who have so much of social anxiety. So naturally, we thought let's put this out in the universe, put it out on the internet, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's
So,
truly like the most millennial thing is to have a podcast and just discuss nothing.
welcome to Quietly Chaotic. So, let me introduce myself first. I'm Sakshi. I'm in my early 30s, surviving on caffeine with my 3-year-old toddler. Currently a homemaker, which I did after quitting my job of 8 years. What about you, Karuna?
I'm just your regular person who's trying to hold on to their early years of 30s and moving to mid 30s and late 30s. A typical millennial who thinks that, hey, let's just have a cat instead of a kid. And I'm just a cat mom. I'm constantly thriving and surviving on an overthinking, anxious brain. I love reading books. And that's just sort of my escape mechanism. I also love getting a hobby once every couple of months and then not seeing it through. That's me. So, welcome to Quietly Chaotic.
But how come we became so quiet and awkward and so chaotic in our lives?
I'm sure our therapists would say that this is childhood trauma. So, do you want to talk about yours first?
I think so because for me it started with the whole, you know how earlier our parents used to, most of the parents used to have so many transferable jobs, and then you have to switch so many new schools, and then having putting an effort to be friends within a new group and trying to uh, be more relatable to them. So I tried quite a bit and it didn't work out, and I realized I think I'm better off alone and in my own zone. So yeah, slowly I started becoming more quiet and maybe socially awkward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I fully relate because even I come from a background where we were transferring every couple of years and just moving into the school mid-year, trying to find friends that already have sort of friend groups. So it's so difficult to fit into them. And then you know that it's not long term. You know that in 3 years, you're going to be leaving these friends and going somewhere again. Why put in the effort at this point,
And
right?
at that time, you just think that only you know it, and all of your other friends are like, "Oh, you can become my best friend." And after 3 or 4 years, you realize, "Oh shit, this is also going to end
Exactly.
again."
Exactly. And I'm sure with you as well. There were so many best friends till I was in seventh and sixth standards. And after that, I was like, hey, there seems to be no point because you make a best
Absolutely.
friend and then you're moving to the next school. And then at that point, we didn't really have the internet, which was super accessible, and phones. So we weren't really staying in touch with the friends either. So it just seemed like a waste of time and effort, honestly
For
speaking.
me, the internet started, I think, when I was in ninth or 10th standard.
Yeah.
Was the first one was Orkut, and then later on Facebook came, High Five. So we tried
Yeah.
to be connected, but yeah, didn't work out.
I don't think, yeah, I didn't think that the energy
I
was
don't know if it was
warranted.
our personality which didn't let it happen, or even the friends were like that, that you're like, okay, fine, let's leave it.
No, but have you interacted with people who've stayed just in one place forever, their entire lives? If you look at them, I feel like they seem to have very long-term friendships. They're still friends with people who they went to school in first standard with. And I can't tell you anyone that I know or remember of from like first, second, third, fourth, fifth standard at all.
I
I can
still
remember
remember
incidents.
people. I still remember people, and I wish she could or he could have been better friends. But yeah, there is absolutely no touch.
So basically, childhood trauma. Our therapists are correct when they say that we are like this because of childhood trauma, being
Was
uprooted.
about being quiet and I awkward. I think that comes with the life itself.
Yeah.
So you tell me, has there any awkward situation with you which you felt that okay, this is how I am. I will always be socially awkward.
Yeah, for me, this is burnt into my memory so bad that anytime I fumble in a social situation where I'm anxious or where I shut down, this is the first picture that comes to my mind. So this was third standard, and I was asked to fill in for a last minute song competition. And I don't know what my teacher was thinking. Why would you get me into a song competition when I have zero musical bones in my body, right? And I was supposed to sing Last Christmas. This was in the middle of summer, by the way. Why choose this song? I have no idea. So this person who's actually supposed to sing the song doesn't turn up or gets sick or whatever, and I'm supposed to represent my entire class. Up until this point in third standard, I remember feeling, oh my god, I can make friends so easily. I'm so social. Because again, I had just moved maybe thrice up until now. So I was like, yeah, I can totally do it. Look at me making friends everywhere I go. But I vividly remember rehearsing this song and trying to remember the lyrics. This was in the first three periods of school, and the competition was supposed to be in the fifth period after lunch break. So I've had my food, I'm fully confident, I go in front of everyone, and I have a full on deer in headlights moment. There's absolutely you freeze? No sound out of my mouth, not even a hey, I'm Karuna from 3A. Absolutely nothing. And I thought in my head, this was the first moment where I felt absolute panic when I didn't even know what panic meant. It was like my whole body shut down. My mouth wanted to speak, but I just couldn't. My brain was talking, but it was just not translating to words from my mouth. And they just disqualified me. And that was the moment I knew never again. I cannot be in front of people looking at me, waiting for them waiting for me opening, like to open my mouth and just talk. Just not happening. Think during that time, if our teachers or peers could cheer us on or something, I think that would have changed. I agree, because there was just pin drop silence. Because the only aim of the students is to bully other students who is on the stage. I think if that would have changed, it would have been a lot better. Yeah, but and I could literally see people looking at each other like, is she gonna sing now? Is she gonna sing? Actually, you know what? I'm so glad. Yeah, no, I'm so glad I didn't sing, because I think my singing would have been worse than me actually, not. So I'm glad what if this didn't people would have happen. Liked your singing and then you would have gone to music training and absolutely the hell not. I don't think I have a single musical bone in my body. Since I was a kid, my dad bought me a guitar, my dad bought me a large Casio. I had music sessions from first standard up until third standard. I really wanted to, I really wanted to become like a musician. I just couldn't. I couldn't. Again, like I have zero brain to limb movement coordination, and that is required to play an instrument. I think that's where my downfall happened. I think my parents never got me a toy which had light, sound, or any big noises in the house. So, yeah, my music career ended there itself. So now we've spoken too much about ourselves. Do you want to discuss our first impression? Yeah, it's important to talk about that because I don't think we started out as BFFs. Not at all. The first impression which you gave me, or maybe I would have given you as an excited bunny, I think that didn't match our energy at all. Of course not, because you thought I was a grade A bitch, which I am, which I truly am. But I think I didn't call you exact grade A bitch. It was just a resting bitch face, like I don't care what's happening. Don't talk to me. That was the vibe. Yeah, that's true. Because I've always had that face just so that people don't come and speak to me because I know I'm socially awkward and I'm going to embarrass myself. So it's a defense mechanism. You know how porcupines have those things coming out of them? That's me. That's literally me. But yeah, I was like, for you, I thought, who is this person and why is she so excited at 9 a.m. on a work day? Why does she want to talk so much? First month in the office, have to give the best impression, have everything masked up. Oh my God, I'm so socially approachable. Come to me, talk to me, be my friend. But crying inside, please don't talk to me, give me face. I realized that later, after we started doing projects together and after we started speaking, that you were literally just masking and you're almost as antisocial, if not more than me. I realized that later. And I think that's how we started bonding because we were like, damn, we both awkward. This is cool, so we can't really embarrass ourselves in front of each other. It's just the difference of viewing. Both are awkward in their own way. Yeah, but I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And just to let everyone know, we met each other in a consulting job, which is the worst kind of job for two socially awkward people that job literally revolves around interacting with people and being extremely extroverted. Won't you
Yeah,
agree?
for sure. Trying to network with people, going for new projects, and trying to mingle with the seniors and partners, going for office parties. That was quite a bit.
College did not prepare us for this chaos at all. Like one day you're in a classroom just studying and, submitting assignments, and the next day you're in an office where everyone expects you to know stuff and present to CXOs. Like, what do I know that I can, share with someone who's been working in the industry for 30, 40 years? The imposter syndrome in consulting, I feel, is real,
And
completely real.
do you remember our first project where we had to travel to Hyderabad?
Oh, that was something. Yeah, that
We
was
still
a
get
lot.
flashbacks. We still get flashbacks at night before sleep.
Yeah, it's those universal experience where something really embarrassing happens to you and you remember it 10 years down the line right before you're going to sleep.
I know, and then the first impression, you have to meet the client who's like 20 years older to you, and then you have to introduce yourselves, and then they'll give you ton of problems of their company, and then you're like, okay, I just graduated. I don't think I can solve your problems here, but okay.
Yeah, but it was the best kind of fake it till you make it kind of a job, because I think consulting is literally that. You have to work across industries, whether that's manufacturing or education or whatever else, and then you just have to pretend to know about it till you actually learn about it.
Peak
It's
survival,
crazy.
peak survival mode that was.
Yeah,
But I think that the time we started bonding more, and we thought, okay, at least we have each other's backs.
exactly.
We
No,
can
I
actually
agree.
spend more time.
I
And
agree. I agree. I think that, and just the fact that we shared the debilitating anxiety and overthinking and rage,
it
yeah,
comes from there.
it comes from there. I think it comes from there. Like yeah, just existing in such a cutthroat corporate environment. I don't think people who have so much anxiety and social awkwardness are meant for that.
Yeah, yeah. But speaking of socially awkward moments, I should tell you about mine, which happened on our jobs itself, and I'm sure you will remember that. So there was this my senior year batchmate. He had already quit the company, and we were planning to have a lunch on a weekday, thinking, fine, we will meet him, say our goodbyes, have lunch, and then go back to our work. But after having lunch, we were just chit chatting outside the restaurant, and there were like six, seven people. And I was like, now he's going. Should I just go hug him? Should I just shake his hand? Or like, what's the scene? What are other people doing? But the sad part was, I was the first one to approach him. And I just went ahead and tried to hug him, and his hand was right there in front of my stomach.
Oh my God, was this the awkward moment where someone goes for a hug, someone goes for a handshake?
Yeah, and I was like, no. Then I started thinking, oh my God, what must he be thinking? Why is she coming on to me? And I try to shake my hand. She's not even my best of friends. But yeah, that happened.
This is what happens when you put yourself out there. I hate when people say you should move out of your comfort zone,
This
because
is the
this
reason we
is,
don't.
yeah, this is the reason we would never move out of our comfort zone, because when we do, stuff like this happens. And what are you supposed to do then? How did I not remember this? I think I maybe blocked it out. My brain is just trying to protect myself from these memories.
This is another one of the topics which I remember at night, just before sleeping, and then I cringe to my sleep.
Oh my God, this is the worst. By the way, talking on sleep, I learned this trick and it helps me anytime I have really embarrassing flashbacks of social awkwardness. Did you know that there's this trick to fall asleep, which is used apparently in the army, and it helps activate your vagus nerve, which is essentially you think of a word. So let's say bread is a word, which is definitely what I'm thinking about before sleeping. So if you think about bread, you use B as the first word and you think about as many words as you can from B and you visualize them. So, for example, bath, bedroom, buffalo, all of these things, and you keep visualizing them and till the time you move on to the next letter once you've
I
exhausted
will
all of B.
definitely sleep after this because this is taxing. Like, this is getting into my brain.
Exactly.
That,
It's literally like shutting your brain off, because our brains don't shut off. You having mom brain and me just having a perpetually anxious brain. I think this is something that we should definitely try
yeah,
next
my
time.
brain will be like, oh, please go to sleep. I don't want to work on this right now.
Exactly. And then there we have it. No more cringe memories before sleeping. We can just
And
make new
chamomile
ones.
also helps. I try chamomile every other night.
Oh,
That,
really?
yeah, it does help.
Do you remember we once went to this nutritionist and she asked us to have
Oh my God.
walnuts?
Walnuts, yeah, before sleeping. Walnuts and then
Apparently, that helps.
I don't think it affected in any way, but yeah, okay. We paid a lot of money to that nutritionist.
We should definitely talk about this in some of our future episodes when we discuss our health journeys because it has been just that, a
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, it's still going.
I don't think it'll ever end, do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
It
definitely not now in our 30s when our
with
health
our
just starts
whatever we call our
deteriorating.
body type or our stress levels, I don't think the health matter will stop for us.
Oh, 100%. When did you think, now that we've spoken about the quiet part of Quietly Chaotic, when did you think that, chaos finally entered your life? Or when did you think it became chaotic?
For me, chaos started the day I got pregnant because before that, everything was so organized for me, like waking up on time, going to gym on time, going to work, coming back from work. Sometimes it used to be delayed, which is fine. But then again, I had a control in my hand, like how can I manage my day? But as soon as I got my son, nothing works out. How much ever I try, nothing works out. Like if I have to leave my home by 8 o'clock, no, 8:30, 8:40, and but I just used to abuse my husband, but I think that has come on to me also. And no matter what I do, it's just out of control, and which gives me even more anxiety because nothing is in my own control.
I can't even imagine having a life like this because, like you said, I think both of our partners are very type B, whereas we are very type A, which is in every relationship, someone's type A, someone's type B. Like, for example, in my mom and dad, my dad's very type A, which is where I get it from, and my mom is very type B. So sometimes I feel like I've married like my mom's twin because it's a similar relationship. And I think for me, the chaos entered when I married my partner because being so type A, I had to sort of learn how to let go of the smaller things just so that we could have more harmony, just to be like, okay, fine. Let's not leave exactly at 8:30, which is 5 hours before the flight. We can leave at 9:30, which is 4 hours before the flight. So it's just this whole, yeah, that's where the chaos comes from. And I also think that for both of us, chaos enters our life when we try to control it way too much,
Yeah.
because that's when things start to go wrong, because we just want so much control and like organization in our life that we hold on to things, and that just causes more chaos.
I think we're still learning on that part to give away control for certain things.
Yeah, it's a difficult process. And I think for us, if I were to go by what my therapist says, it's because we had such unstable childhoods and such unstable lives in general, where we were moving every couple of years. We didn't have a stable set of friends, family. I think that's where it comes from, this literal need to control, because you couldn't control anything when you were a child.
Makes sense.
It better make sense for paying that much money to my therapist. I
I
mean,
think we should transfer some of the therapy here also to make it
we
worth it.
definitely should. We should talk about why we decided to start this podcast and yap away to no one. For me, at least, I thought we should start this because I don't know how many times do we ask each other, why are we like this?
Exactly.
Are we weird? Is it just us? I think this is it just us and why are we like this is a term that's spoken thrice a day for us.
And I
I,
think it's better than writing in my diary, dear diary, like I'm so embarrassed by myself. I think we rather talk it out on a podcast.
yeah,
Maybe
because
engage
maybe
with similar like-minded people.
exactly. So we just don't feel as alone or as embarrassed because we're like, oh, okay, there are other people who maybe go for a hug
We
instead of
should
going for a
have our
handshake.
own community, like a silent community where just people don't talk, just message each other, maybe send wink emoji or something.
Yeah, just no talking, no FaceTimes, no calls, just WhatsApps are okay by us. Mails, even better because we can be slower to reply there. But yeah, that's, I think so. When people come onto this podcast, they should just expect yapping with absolutely no context. And people can also expect moving from one tangent to another with absolutely no context or direction.
Speaking of moving to different tangent, I want to ask you about the dream existence. Like we talk so much about our future and how I will get 500 crore lottery and how I'll manifest that. What about you? What do you desire?
So, a slow life because we've had such fast lives, and I really don't understand this concept of running from one second to another. I think I just want a life where I have a very large farm in a place that's a little colder because I hate summers, and maybe have a couple of animals, a couple of dogs, a couple of cats, a couple of sheep, maybe some cows. And I just live a life in a community that has maybe 50, and we all get together only on Saturdays for like a farmer's market where we all get produce from our farms and sell to each other like a barter system. So basically, I just want to sit in a time machine and go backwards at least 3 decades or four
Hope these
decades.
50 people are not in the same age group because it'll be
Yeah.
very difficult in the
No,
end.
no, definitely not the same age group. I would say varying age groups, varying communities, varying cultures. I think that would just be my dream existence where I didn't have to work to earn money. I could just exist and take care of the planet, and the planet in return take care of me. I think that's what I would
Those
like.
50 people, I'll be the one baking cakes for everyone. Maybe muffin
And
day, one is,
cookies.
yeah, one day Rajma Chawal.
Do you know what? I think this is where our amazing dream of opening a cafe where you bake to your heart's content and where we have a book group that meets every Sunday to discuss new romantasy books. I think that would be amazing. And we wouldn't charge people a lot, and we can just have a really aesthetic place. And I'm sure we've discussed this 100 times.
For sure. And it's not about the money or opening like a big cafe. It's just about the whole bonding experience and whole baking experience and the smell of freshly baked products and reading whatever you like, especially the fantasy novels.
Exactly. And you know what I think the conclusion that I've come to for us, I think what we hate, and when we call ourselves socially awkward, it's not socially awkward with people who mean something, it's meaningless conversation. So it's small talk that we hate and we can't make because for us it's like, what's the point? Does this mean
I don't
anything
know
in a
how
conversation?
people generate this small talk. Like, where does this come from? Like, if I'm standing in front of a stranger who I actually have to talk, I wouldn't know what to ask him or her. Like, what is your name? Okay, cool. My name is Sakshi. Yours is so and so. That is my small.
Yeah, and that's because I think we are the kind of people that genuinely need to care about someone or something to have a conversation. We can't have fake conversation, and that's so visible even on our faces, and which is why you don't see our faces on this podcast, is because we're so transparent.
Especially, do you remember during office time on the Teams call when everyone asks, "Oh, hello, hello, can you hear me?" And after that, how's the weather? Like, I don't
Yeah,
care about your weather. You're sitting at home during COVID time. So I clearly
yeah.
don't care.
It
Just
seriously doesn't make
avoid.
sense. For both of us, we while we characterize ourselves as socially awkward, weird people, it's more so that we don't like putting our limited energy reserves in people and in relationships and in conversations where we feel like it's not long term.
I think that's how our friendship dynamic is also.
Yeah, exactly. Because we yap with each other for 1.5 hours every day, and this is the only social conversation we have throughout the day, other than the partners and work. This is the literal time where we just rant and talk about meaningless shit.
Be it whatever, if I change my toothpaste or change my toothbrush color, so who
I
to tell
hope
it
you
out?
changed your toothbrush because I remember seeing it.
Once every month I do it.
Wow, that's actually great because even I don't do it once a month now.
So I wanted to
Yeah.
tell people one more thing about you, that you really like astrology.
Oh, yeah,
And
I do. And I just use it as an excuse for my introvertedness. I'll say, hey,
you
sorry,
want
I'm an introvert. I'm just a Virgo.
I
Sorry, I
actually
like
wanted
things the way I do.
I wanted to bring this out because you are a Virgo, my partner is a Virgo, my mom is a Virgo. I'm surrounded by Virgos. And
You're welcome.
I don't think so because my life is just infested with them. One is like type B personality, you are type A, and my mom is somewhere in the middle. I'm like, okay, I need more different signs, maybe a Sagittarius or a.
You should collect them like Pokemons. And also, FYI, aren't you also a Virgo moon?
Yeah, okay, but I'm
Which is
Aries.
exactly
The
why
most is
we get
best.
together because you're a Sagittarius, Virgo, and what is the other one? Aries, right?
Aries is sun sign.
Yeah, your
I
sun
think
sign's
Aries are the
Aries.
best.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of Aries friends. I think Aries are very ride or die. Like they're very passionate about things. And
I would say more of an impulsive. Like if I want to do something or even buy like something, it'll be instant. And after 5 minutes, I will not think about it. If it's gone after 5 minutes, then I won't think.
oh, really?
It's so
For
important.
me, it's the other way because I'm a Virgo. I'm like a complete overthinker. For me, I will think about something that I want to buy or something that I'm passionate about for months before I start it. And then I'll eventually do it and I'll literally lose the dopamine after that. For 5 minutes, I'll be like, damn, this was just 5 minutes, which
Even
is
now,
why,
this podcast, you had thought about it and you had told me, do you want to do this? And I'm like, instantly, yeah, let's do it. It's like,
yeah,
do or die.
which is why I say that you're like very right or die. If we say that we want to do something, you just be like, yeah, okay, cool. I don't think you say no too much,
I
which
do say to my toddler,
I mean, yeah, I think that should be the favorite word for toddlers any which ways, right? So I think apart from that, I feel like you don't say no too much, which is a very good attitude to have in life. Whereas for me, I
maybe
say no first.
I know later on when I'm regretting the decision, why did I say yes in the first place?
I think that only applies to those situations where you suddenly decide to be social, and when the day finally comes to be social, you're like, "Damn, what was I thinking? Why did I
Let's
agree
go
to this?"
for, oh, let's go for a movie, let's go for clubbing. I'm like, yay, I'm so excited for it. And when the day comes, I'm like, why did I do this to myself?
Do
I
you
really don't
remember
want to do this.
how many times we did this to ourselves, where
Yeah.
we would be like, life is getting too damn repetitive and consulting. We're just working 12 hours a day. You know what? This Friday after work, let's go out for dinner. Friday comes, both of us are just staring at each other throughout the day for like 5 seconds, just gauging what the other person wants to do. And at 5 o'clock, we'll be like, we're really
It's gym
tired
time.
actually. Do you want to just work out and go to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we would just be like, oh yeah, I was just waiting for you to say that.
It's not about even Friday. I think the same day I will come in the morning. Oh, let's do this. This new restaurant is open. Let's go here. And by the time it's 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, we're like, okay, bye.
Yeah, see you.
You
Like
too,
we won't
Mano.
even discuss. We won't even discuss it. We'd just be like, bye. Like we've forgotten about this plan that we just made. So which is so odd because I think all of my friends are so extroverted. I don't have any introverted friends except for you. Even my partner is like an ambivert. So yeah, it's
Even
good to
my
have
partner
introvert
is like
friends.
a social butterfly. He loves mingling with people, and I have to go and meet his friends. That's way too much. No. Half the time I'm
Which
sick, or now I have a new reason that I have a toddler at home. Yeah.
this brings us to the point that we started with, and maybe we should end with. So, why are we like this?
Why are we like this?
To find out why we are like this, stay tuned for the next episode where we'll discuss more of our life experiences. And if you like this episode, like, share, and
And
subscribe.
subscribe.
See you.